So we're back in the studio. Welcome back everyone. My name is Ricky Walker. From our laptops to our television, from the displays on our smartphone to those on our sadness, we are in front of screens all the time. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to disconnect completely? To cause not to have access to the internet. If you have, you might be in need of a digital detox, a total switch off from all things digital. The idea of people taking a digital detox is becoming more and more popular, especially amongst young people. And today we're joined by someone who has tried a number of digital detox activities and here to give you some advice about it. Amanda Vines, welcome to studio. Okay, Rick, thank you very much. So, Amanda, you work a fashion magazine in London, right? I guess your work means you need to be online a lot. Oh yes, apart from the hundreds of email I get every day, I am always browsing fashion websites as well as online videos. I also need to be very active online, especially on Twitter and Instagram, sharing what we're doing in the magazine, interacting with designer, photographer, and influencer. It never stops literally. Then, of course, there's my friend and my family to keep in touch with online too. And for me, my work grow out of my passion. So, friends and work colleagues aren't two totally separate group of people and it all gets a bit messy online sometimes. I think I'm online for at least 12 hours a day. So, how did you get the idea for digital detox? I read a book about it called Lock Off How to Stay Connected After Disconnect. The author's name is Blake Snow. That book gave me some really good advice and made me think about trying to change some of my digital habits. I started with removing distraction. What do you mean by that? That means turning off always buzz alarm or notification of any kind. I had notification set up for everything and it meant I was always paying for it to look at my phone. Removing all of them except for important contacts helped me focus immediately. The books also made a really good point that we should ask ourselves why every time we take out our phone. I realized that most of the times I looked at my phone were because I was trying to avoid or ignore something else happening right in front of me. It was an automatic habit. I have to confess that happens to me too. But what else are you going to do when you're standing in line at the bank or waiting for your train? Okay, yes, I am the first to admit that it's great for helping time go by. But speaking personally, I found I wasn't just checking my phone to kill time. When I was alone, I was also doing it with friends or family around. Right. Well, so far this doesn't sound too drastic. Turning off notification and becoming aware of when we use our device that sound easy. Yes, it's the first step. Once we begin, to realize just how much of a grip our devices have on us. Then we're ready to really take the next step. First, my partner and I did a weekend with absolutely no screens. She found it easier than I did for me. It was a little bit scary at first, but it turned out to be a pretty rewarding experience. A well weekend, I don't know if I call. I think everyone has to do this at their own pitch. If a weekend feels too much, maybe just try for an evening, then work your way up to more. I quit once you have tried it, you'll want to try it again. We're going to try it for a whole week in the summer. Thank you. Okay, let's pause there then and see what our listener have to say. You can call us here directly or send us a message on any of our social media accounts. Should I be saying that anyway? More after the break. Okay, so these are the questions that I will answer. Number one. What is the presenter of the programs? My answer is the presenter is Ricky Walker. Number two, what topic are they discussing in the studio? My answer is they are discussing digital detox and reducing screen time. Number three, why does Amanda need to be online a lot for her job? My answer is because she works for a fashion magazine and needs to send emails, browse fashion website, watch online video, and stay active on social media. Number 4. How many hours a day does Amanda think she spends online? My question, she thinks she spends at least 12 hours a day online. Number 5. What book inspired Amanda to try a digital detox? The book's long of How to Stay Connect After Disconnecting by Blake Snow. Number 6. What was the first thing Amanda changed when starting her detox? My answer is she started by removing distraction, especially notification. Number 7. Why did Amanda decide to turn off notification? My answer is because notification forced her to constantly check her phone and distracted her. Number 8. What question does the book suggest people should ask themselves before checking their phones? My answer is it suggests asking why am I taking out my phone? Number 9. What did Amanda and her partner do as their next step after removing notification? My answer is they spent a whole weekend with no screens at all. Number 10. What does Amanda plan to try in the summer? My answer is she plans to try a whole week without screens. Okay, now the next question. Number 21. When did you first start learning listening in English? My answer is I started learning English listening in elementary school. Number 22. What was your listening experience like in senior high school? It was challenging and focused mostly on exam. Number 23. What kinds of listening activities did your teacher use at that time? My answer is listening to songs, video, and dialogue and exam recording. Number 24. Did you enjoy listening practice at school? Why or why not? Sometimes yes, but often it was difficult and stressful. Number 25. What were your biggest difficulties in listening when you were in high school? My answer is fast speech, unfamiliar vocabulary, and different accents. 26. In your opinion, why is listening difficult for you? Maybe because native speakers speak quickly and not clearly. Number 27. How do you usually practice listening now? What resources do you use? I practice by watching movie, YouTube video, podcast, and listening to music. Number 28. How often do you practice listening today? Almost every day. What strategies have helped you improve your listening skills so far? My question is reporting audio, using subtitle, and listening regularly. Number 30. What is one moment when you felt proud of your listening progress? When I understood a full English video without subtitle. Number 31. What do you think is the best way to learn listening for you personally? My question is learning through movies and real conversation. Number 32. Which types of listening activities do you enjoy the most? Why? Movies and podcasts because they are fun and realistic. Number 13. What is your listening goal for the future? My question is to understand English confidently for academic and career purpose. Number 34. What will you do different after reflecting on your listening journey? My question is I will practice listening more consistently. Number 35. If you could give advice to your younger self or friend who was struggle with English listening, what would you say? Don't be afraid of mistakes and practice every day. Thank you, Sha.